Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to the Play Space Live. Keith Avalone from Play Games. Glad to have you here. Sam is producing tonight's show as usual. We are back from BGG Con in Dallas where we had a wonderful time. Just a fantastic time playing board games and hanging out. And I made a blog post about that, posted it a couple of days ago. You can take a look at that, get some pictures, and see what we've been up to for the past week or so. That was the first leg of the 2025 Holiday Marathon for Play Games. Second leg begins shortly. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, with the beginning of the 2025 Holiday Sale. And with the 2025 Holiday Sale comes our annual Holiday PDF game, and that is what we're doing tonight. We're here to unveil it. So let's get right to it. There was a good amount of speculation on the Play Games community, the Facebook page, and the various other forums about what the game would be. And if you guessed pickleball, then I'm sorry you'll have to wait until next year, because this year's holiday game is horse racing. It's called Play at the Races, tabletop horse racing game. As you might expect, it's inspired by our NASCAR game, Red, White, and Blue Racing. But it is a different game, in the same way that Soccer Blast was inspired by our hockey game and has a very different feel to it as well. So, however, if you played Red, White, Blue Racing, you're going to be instantly familiar with Play at the Races, tabletop horse racing. Now, before I show you the game components, let me talk a little bit about the similarities and differences. I've got my show notes here, which I will refer to here, so I make sure I don't forget anything. The similarities, first of all, it uses the same King of the Hill sort of game engine methodology. Rather than moving horses around a track, they'll be moving in relation to one another, just like the NASCAR game. The cars move in relation to one another as well. The race is a series of challenges based on qualities. Somewhat different qualities than the NASCAR game, obviously, but the same basic game engine structure. If you have the quality, you get the opportunity to advance in the pack. If you don't have it, then you don't get the chance. Chips come into play as well to help you win challenges that you ordinarily wouldn't. You earn them in much the same way that you do in the NASCAR game. The resolution of the game is similar. There are 2 dice rolls per turn. You'll roll a die, or you'll roll in the NASCAR game, it's a metallic die. In the horse racing game, it's a black die, and then there'll be 2 yellow dice versus the 2 black dice in Red, White, and Blue Racing, the NASCAR game. But it's the same basic methodology. You'll roll 3 dice. It'll tell you what the key action of that segment is, and then you'll do a second series of dice rolls based, the challenges based on the qualities and the challenge and defense ratings of the horses involved. So it's very similar in that way. The differences are also worth noting. Number one, in the NASCAR game, the driver and the car are a unit. In the horse racing game, there are separate jockeys and horse cards. They're played together. There is an option if you want to play without jockeys and just use a generic jockey rating for everybody. You can do that. I suppose you could also play the game with the jockey cards set aside and just try to remember who's riding whom. But the game is set up with the jockeys and horses contributing to the race. The jockeys have what are the equivalent of the gas pedal symbols on the NASCAR cards. They're diamond symbols in the horse racing game. And the horses have the defense symbol, so the better horses are more difficult to overtake as it should be. So it's kind of split between the two, and there are more of them, which we'll also talk about, more symbols, which we'll also talk about later. Another difference is that the movement is governed, and by that I mean it's sort of regulated and slowed down. In NASCAR, in the NASCAR game, each turn represents 10 miles of racing, so cars can move quite a bit up in the pack in what would appear to be very short order, but in fact it's stretched out over 10 miles. The horse racing game is broken down into furlong turns, so movement is not quite so dramatic, and we've instituted steps to keep the horses moving in a more regulated manner. It's very analogous, I think, to the way Soccer Blast slows down the action from Hockey Blast, where you go from moving the ball, then you get to an attack, and then you get to an on-target attack, and there's a series of stages. It's a similar kind of thing with the horse racing game. It's kind of slowed down, governed, so as to make it more more like horse racing, less like NASCAR. There is an uneven distribution of the challenges in the NASCAR group. In the NASCAR game, the white die will indicate which car is being challenged, and it's equally distributed amongst the cars in the next group. In the horse racing game, it's set up so that it's the horse at the bottom of the group, at the end of the group, is more likely to be challenged by the next group lower than the horse at the top. And again, that's to kind of govern the action and make it feel more like horse racing. And the other difference, I think, is there are fewer entrants in a horse race. Typically 8 or 9, sometimes as few as 6, sometimes as many as 12. But generally speaking, 9 is a good number, 8 is a good number, versus 40-something cars in a NASCAR race. So there's fewer entrants. There are fewer turns. A NASCAR race is going to run 40 turns. A horse race is going to run 8 turns. And there's more action packed into those turns as well. So the games have very different feels to them, although they do borrow, the same basic game mechanics. So the games are similar but different. Now, there are 2 subgroups, I think, of horse racing tabletop game fans. You have the historical group, which is interested in recreating like big events, like Kentucky Derby events with all-time great horses or horses that ran against each other, and kind of recreating historical races and seeing how it plays out against what actually happened in real life. Then you have the day at the races type fans who are interested in daily racing, who go for are interested in a series of races. They're gonna wager money and see how much money they can win. They're not necessarily interested in seeing that the best horse wins. They want to try to analyze the field and see which long shot might have a good chance to win this race. So they're looking at a horse race in an entirely different way. But both are interested in who's going to win the race, but for different reasons. And I think that my aim in creating this game was to kind of reach both groups. And I think there is something for everybody in Play at the Racing, regardless of what kind of a horse racing fan you are. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and show you the game. Let's go to the table cam. I've got it in a Play Classic box here. Now, again, this is a PDF game. If it is well received, we very well may release it as a boxed game sometime in 2026. But right now, it's just a PDF game. So all these are components that I printed myself and separated. So this is what you'll get after you've printed it. Well, you won't get the dice and you won't get the pencil. This is a good time, though, to point out what you will need. I have got yellow chips. Any colored chip will work. You'll need maybe a dozen of them, maybe a little bit more. Typically a race will have, I don't know, I think most I've ever used is 10, but you'll want a collection of chips. I chose yellow rather than blue for red, white, and blue racing. And you'll have a very similar assortment of dice. As I said, you'll have a black die and 2 yellow die. You can use a different color if you don't have yellow. I realize not everybody has yellow dice, but I thought yellow was a good choice for this. And then you have got the red, white, and blue dice, which is identical to what you have in red, white, and blue racing. I have a stack of horse cards. The game will come with 96 horses. They're fictional horses of varying abilities, and you'll get a set of 32 jockey cards as well. And then you'll get these components. Let me get them out of the box here. I'll put the box aside. Set this off to the side. So you get a set of instructions. This is in color. I printed it in black and white. Save a little money. That's always good to be thrifty. And it's printed landscape orientation, but it's a lot of white space. Pretty easy to read. So those are the instructions. These are the boards. I'm going to set them out as you would use them. We'll put I'm going to call this the race action board, which has the different results for the different furlongs. It's broken down by you'll use a different distribution based on whether it's the first furlong or the final furlong, or there are sprint and stamina furlongs. And each race is a mix of each, depending on the shape of the race and the duration of the race. This is the I guess what would qualify as like the race day page. It will allow you to create your own program. You want to do 6 races, you just roll dice. It'll tell you how many horses, how many furlongs, and you'll set up your race and your daily program and get after it. You'll have track conditions. This is the pace chart, which tells you which of these boards you're going to use for any particular furlong. And of course, depending on the pace of the race and the length of the race, sprint races are going to use the sprint furlongs. The long races are going to use the stamina furlongs. So, and the horses are rated for each. These are the boards. I think we're still on the within view of the camera here. I'm going to move this out of the way so I've got room. These are the game boards. This is the equivalent to the top group and middle group boards in red, white, and blue racing. We changed it though from top and bottom to front and back, and it's sort of, you're talking about the pack rather than the mass of cars in a NASCAR race. So I will occasionally, I think, probably likely interpose the words front and top. But in the horse racing game, it's the front group and the back group, not the top group and the bottom group. However, they are actually interchangeable. Now, this is an extra, we call this the auxiliary gate board. These are gate positions up here. This is the actual, the racing part of it. And there's an extra board if you want to add more horses. We got it set up for 9. 9 is a really good number. Most of my playtesting was with 9 horses. You can, though, run as many as 14 or even 16, and you would set this board up. Well, it's off the camera, isn't it? You would set this board up on this side and move everything over. There are special rules for using this auxiliary gate so that you can't have a horse go from 12th to 2nd or whatever. They will basically, you're dividing the back group into 2 groups, the far back and the back, and you'll advance from the far back to the back. But that's sort of an advanced thing if you want to use bigger fields. Typically, I think 8, 9 horses is a good number. This is the betting odds guide. This allows you to quickly establish odds for the race. It's patterned after our highlight games betting odds chart, and it's a little bit more extensive than that, than the highlight game. And then there is the payout window, which tells you how much money you win if your horse does what you are betting him to do. For the sake of simplicity, we say you can wager 10 in multiples of 10, 20, or $50. So you could wager 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 or 200 or 500 or 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. And then if you win, place, or show, it will tell you how much money you win on this board. Also, there's some information on exactas and quinellas and trifectas. I generally don't get that exotic with my wagering, but you are allowed to do that, and there are instructions on how to do that. These are the uncommon and unusual and rare results boards. As you might expect, we won't use these we probably won't even use them at all tonight. And then there's a score sheet which will allow you, it's actually 2 score sheets for 2 races, which will allow you to track the race. So that is, those are the components. I'm going to set up a quick race here to show you how it works. And again, I'm going to use the jockeys. You do not have to. There were a couple of play testers that would prefer not to use them. And if you're, I personally think they add a lot. Not just the color. Each of the jockeys has their own color scheme, which adds the kind of color to a horse race that the different car colors adds to a NASCAR race, and I feel like that's important. But again, you're totally welcome to just run the horses, and there are complete instructions on how to do that using a generic jockey rating, assuming that all the jockeys are equal. And I understand for a lot of people that's what they want. They want to see how the horses are going to do, and they want to control the ability of the jockey. They want the jockeys to play a factor, and the generic jockeys will play a factor. But I mean, I get that. I'm just trying to cover as many bases as I can, and make a game that I like. You know, one of my main philosophies is if I enjoy playing a game, then other people will too. And I think the jockeys are super cool, and so I'm going to demonstrate it with the jockeys. But again, realize that you do not have to do that. So we're going to start the race by putting a jockey in each gate position. Let's see. I think I've got an extra jockey here somewhere. Is that only 8? All right. Let's put a ninth one here. Tom Spadafora will go here in position number 9. All right. So there's our jockeys. It's simple as that. Now, for our score sheet, again, I messed around with score sheets. You can make. I'm sure somebody will make their own score sheet. This does not track everything that some people might want. This tracks basically what I would want. So I am going to fill it out. I'm going to put the number of the jockey. The number of the jockey is printed right here. So you can keep statistics for both horses and jockeys. And I know if you've watched the horse racing channel at all, you'll know that typically for every race, they show the jockey's statistics, how many races they've run, how many they've won. And you know, they keep pretty thorough standings on the jockeys. You're able to do that with this. And so I'm going to write the jockey number that's associated with each gate. And just quickly do that. That way, after the race, I can you know, review, and if I want to keep track of who won, you know, how they did, I can. All right, so that's that. Now we're going to put the horses out, and we're just going to place them on top of the jockey cards. So I've got an assortment here of 9 horses, and we'll get these guys out of the way. I'll shuffle them up, do this randomly. And here we go. We're just going to put them on top of the jockeys, just like this. All right, now we are going to decide who we're going to bet on. So imagine this is what the gate would look like lined up. This is gate number 1. This is gate number 9. We're going to resolve this by checking the sprint ratings. Each horse is given a sprint rating, and that will establish the initial rush out of the gate. And we'll start with number 1 and go to number 9. And just like it is in the NASCAR game, whoever's in gate number 1, they'll be considered to have a gold trophy. You'll see they have gold. They have trophy colors. Works very similar to the NASCAR game. Gold trophy horses are going to be more towards the top. Silver is going to be here. Bronze will be here. There are no horses, by the way, with no trophies as there are in NASCAR. But the idea is that each of these horses has a comfortable area where they like to run, and they are also given a profile. We have 4 different profiles: front runners, stalkers, middlers, and closers. And generally speaking, that's going to correspond with the trophy symbol they get. So you'll find that the horses, the front runner horses are going to gravitate toward the front, and the middler horses are going to gravitate toward the middle. But just as in the NASCAR game, there's no guarantee. You could have a bronze horse in the lead, especially if it's in gate number 1. And it passes its gate check. So we're going to look at these horses. We're going to decide who do we want to bet on. I'm looking at them. The horse numbers indicate the strength of the horse. The higher horses are the better horses. So 1 is best. 96 is the lowest rated horse in the set, and that will help establish the betting odds. I can see that the best horse we have here is Second Fiddle, ridden by Mero Abreu, who's a pretty decent jockey. So, I might feel like I want to bet on Second Fiddle, or maybe I'll go for a long shot. The lower rated horses are long shots. Emerson Risk is a really good jockey riding Her Royal Highness. But for the sake of argument, let's say I'm going to put $10 on Second Fiddle to win. So I'm going to write that down here. Second Fiddle to win. And I can establish the odds here. I can by looking at this, by going to the betting odds table, I can see what the odds are. So Second Fiddle is horse number 4. It is the highest rated horse. It is in gate position 3. So I guess I should show it to the camera, shouldn't I? Gate position 3, highest rated horse. Its trophy is silver. So it will be 3-to-1 odds for this race. I'm gonna bet $10 on Second Fiddle to win at 3-to-1. All right. Now I could place other bets. I could calculate the odds for any horse here. Like, for example, who's the lowest rated horse? It looks like Her Royal Highness is the lowest rated horse in gate number 7. So let's see, gate position 7, the ninth highest rated. That's going to be 20 to 1 odds for Her Royal Highness to win. Maybe I'll put $10 on Her Royal Highness. We'll leave it as it is. All right, I think we're ready to begin the race. We're going to have them come out of the gate, and we'll just use the yellow dice for this. And we're going to check the sprint go rating. Each horse is rated for the go, and let's just get after it. 8. So that is if we'd rolled a 4 or less. So yeah, obviously Soapsud is not a great horse. Actually, Soapsud is the lowest rated, isn't it? I miscalculated the odds. I see 89 is lower than 79. So actually, Soapsud is the lowest rated horse. So failed its a gate charge, and it will go to the back. We'll start at the back. So if you succeed on your gate charge, you will go to your assigned position. If you fail, though, you go to the back, and everybody goes ahead of you. So obviously, the earlier horses first out of the gate, have sort of a higher risk reward. So it looks like Silver Lining is going to go here in the silver group, and looks like Second Fiddle will go here, and looks like Mr. Z goes in 4th. A failed gate charge for Notorious BID, also for Remembering Remy. 9. Oh, we're having a bunch of them that are slow out of the gate. So you're going to stack them up here, and we're going to fill from the back. This is the back group here. Let's see, 11. Oh, we had several, and this does happen. I think we'll have an interesting resolution here. So, and it looks like Irma's Joy will move into 5th. So we have the lead position is open. So at this point in the race, everybody moves up. So go like this. And as you can see, we have a horse of the silver trophy in the lead position out of the gate. And then we move these guys up like this. And now we are ready to begin. Well, actually, we are not. The next thing we have to do before we actually start the race is to determine the shape of the race. And anybody who's familiar with horse racing knows that the shape of the race is based on who's ahead, who kind of is setting the pace, and it's all explained in the rules. But because we have a silver horse, a silver trophy horse leading a stalker, it will be a normal pace. Now, I guess I should have check the track conditions. I'll roll for we'll assume that they're normal track conditions. Usually they are. We try to keep that. So in this case, it's normal track conditions and a normal pace because it's being led by Silver Lining. All right, we'll do an 8 furlong race. So I'm going to cross these blocks out. This will be the first furlong. This will be the last furlong. We're going to now assign chips. If there's a front runner in the lead, they get a chip. It's a stalker. Any stalkers here get chips, so we'll put a chip for these two. A stalker in 5th place or 4th place also gets a chip, but that's a closer. And we're looking for middlers in the middle group, and that would be Her Royal Highness. So those are the horses that are going to get chips out of the gate. Now we're gonna do our first turn. This is how our race opens. Oh, I didn't mark I should have marked the gate positions. Again, if you want to keep these stats, like the starting position, I should have written all those down here. Out of the gate, this is where I usually start. I usually don't start from the gate position. I usually start where did they start out of the gate. So it's 68 and let's see, 68 and 4 and 32 and 51, 10. 79, 76, 47, and 89. And again, you don't even have to do this if you don't want to, but it's interesting to see where they started and where they finished. Okay. And I suppose if this weren't a live stream, I would write in the horses here so I would remember who was riding, who was riding number 68, which is is Danny Mangeras. All right, so let's begin the race. Get this underway. We're going to roll these 2 dice. It is the first furlong, so we're going to check black 3, yellow 4. We're going to check the back and middle group for the burst quality. So in the first and last furlongs, there's more action. So we're going to check 2 groups. You'll also notice parenthetically that the horses generally have more qualities. That is to generate more action in the just a design note. In case you're interested, maybe you're not. In the NASCAR game, a typical driver will have about three racing qualities. In the horse racing game, the average horse will have 4.5. So there will be more action, and then there are also at least two turns where there will be more than one group involved. And in the first furlong, there's always like chaos out of the gate, of course. So we'll be checking two groups. It might be all, or sometimes all groups. In this case, we're checking the back and the middle group for the burst quality. So we're looking for horses with the burst. And I usually leave this right here so I remember what it was that I rolled. And I get the red, white, and blue dice out here. And we're looking for the burst quality, and we see two of the horses have it in the bottom group. And again, this is going to be resolved exactly the same as red, white, and blue race in the NASCAR game. That is going to be a good challenge. He's going to challenge here. Now you'll notice in the middle group, the white for the fourth place horse to be challenged, we have to get a white die 1. It's 2 and 3 for the fifth place, and 4, 5, and 6 for the sixth place. So the sixth place. Sixth place is the most likely landing spot for anybody challenging out of the bottom group. And again, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier about regulating the pace of the race. So it looks like Rodarte is riding Soapsud is going to move into the fifth place because of the burst quality. And maybe higher because the middle group's going to get a chance to challenge again. No burst for Notorious B.I.D. And here's Remembering Remy with a red die 6. I automatically note that will be a failed challenge, just like I know a white die, generally speaking, a blue die 1 is going to be a fail, and a blue die 6 is going to be a success if the red die. This is the sort of what you learn after you play it a while. It's like, oh, I can see immediately that's a failed challenge. All right, so now we go to the middle group. And we're looking again for the burst quality. Her Royal Highness does not have it. Here's Soapsud again. And this will probably not succeed. It's going to be challenging against Mr. Z, who gets this fend bonus and this fend bonus. There's the blue 2, so that will fail. He had a chip anyway. And here's Irma's Joy double burst. So that means... again, let me just draw the distinction between this game and the NASCAR game. In the NASCAR game, that would mean that this horse, that the car would get 2 challenges if it succeeded on the first. In the horse racing game, if they succeed on the first challenge, they will get a chip. They will not challenge again. However, if they fail on the first challenge, they will get a second challenge. So let's just see what happens here. This will probably be a fail. Yeah, it was. It'll be Von Legler will fail, but a second challenge. And this will be, okay, so the 3 is good here. It's within the range of the diamond symbols. This is outside Mr. Z's fend range, and 6 is where we're going. So that will be a successful challenge. However, Mr. Z will spend the chip to stave off the challenge. And that will be the first turn, the first furlong. I'll mark that off. Now we go to the second furlong, and it will be, again, it's a normal pace. So the second furlong is a sprint furlong. We're going to look right here. And that's going to be the back group challenging for speed. Again, I'm going to leave this here, and let's see what happens. 6 for $1 is going to get a chance to get back into it. And that usually will not work with a blue die 1. Let's check 3. But it will work because Soapsud is not a great horse. So Soapsud's going to drop back. And now we're looking for speed here on Notorious B.I.D. And that will be a failed challenge because of the red die 5. Speed for Remembering Remy. And that should be a good challenge. We're looking at 6 for $1. Oh, yes. Wow. So 6 for $1 is going to go back, at least for the moment. And that is the second furlong. And let's do a third furlong. And this will be a top, and again, it'll be, because it's normal pace, this is a sprint challenge, a sprint furlong. So it's going to be a front group challenge, and we're going to look for, it's a front group challenge for go. Now, this is something that we don't have in the NASCAR game. The go challenge is basically opportunity for the horse. There's an opening, and the horse gets a chance to go for it using their go rating. So this is a sprint furlong, so we'll use the sprint go rating, and it'll be the horses in the top group, 2 of them. The front group, I should say. I told you I would make that mistake. So we're looking at Mr. Z's go rating is on sprint is 6. He's got to roll a 6, and again we're gonna use this to determine basically triples because everybody's aiming for silver lining, and we're gonna add these for a go rating. So that will be outside his range. That will be a failed go. And here is second fiddle, and he gets a 9. So that will be a good challenge. He's going to keep his chip and take the lead. Second fiddle goes into the lead, and I bet on him. I got $10 riding on him. All right, that takes care of the third furlong. Now we're the fourth furlong. In a normal race, it's got the question mark there. That means it could be a sprint furlong. It could be a stamina furlong. We'll roll the black die to determine which. And odd, we're going to use the sprint furlong chart. But we rolled an even, so we're using the stamina chart. And the special rule is this is where the closers come in. The closers get their chip on the first stamina turn. So we're looking for any closer here. And we got Irma's Joy. I think Irma's Joy is the only closer in this race. So Irma's Joy will get a chip, and then we will resolve the turn. It's going to be a stamina furlong. Now we could switch back to a sprint furlong for the next one because there are 3 question marks here. It'll be a back group challenge, and we're going to look for the strong quality. Back group challenge for strong. All right, no strong here, no strong here, and we do have strong here. Let me point out also, the horses, the sprint qualities are on the left side of the card. The stamina qualities are on the right side of the horse's card. So you can instantly see, like Remembering Remy, is a good sprinter, but not much, really nothing in the late stages. Although with the go rating, Remembering Remy can still move ahead. But you can analyze the horses based on just by looking at their card. All right, so it's going to be a strong challenge from the back group, and the only one that's going to do it make the challenge is 6 for $1. Let's see if it's it's unfortunately the red 6 will preclude that, and that's that turn. We go to the 5th furlong now, and again we're going to roll to see what kind of furlong it is. It's going to be back to the sprint furlong. And we roll middle group challenge for 8. Speed. Middle group challenge for speed. We're going to see some action here, I think. Her Royal Highness has double speed and a chip. So this is Emerson risks opportunity to get Her Royal Highness into the money. We roll a double 6. That's unfortunate. So this is a good time to point out one of the rules that I'm sure will confuse people, and it is one of the rules that's a little bit difficult. So Emerson, so Her Royal Highness has a chip, fails the challenge, has the double quality. What do? Do you use the chip to move up and then they get to move again? No. If you fail, and this is explaining the rules, but I'm just going to explain it here on the stream. If you fail the first time with a double quality, a starred quality, you simply go again. You don't spend the chip until the second challenge. So we'll do the second challenge, and that will be, that might work, but let's check horse number 4. That's going to be Mr. Z, and we are looking for the speed quality. He does not have it. He does have one Fen symbol and a second one here, so yeah, that's gonna fail. So Her Royal Highness will spend the chip, swap places with Mr. Z. Let's see who else has speed here. Looks like the only one that has speed is Remembering Remy. Let's see if there's a move up. Probably. So the 2 is good. The 5 is outside Silver Linings range. And so that is going to be a move up into second place as we wind this race down. 6th furlong, there's 3 to go. And again, now we're in the 6th furlong in a normal race. Again, this is the last question mark one. Could be stamina, could be sprint. It is going to be a sprint furlong. And we're going to check the middle group, and we're going to look for speed. And that's just what we just did. So this is just kind of a speed race here. There is a rule that says if you do 2 speed turns in a row, any closer gets an extra chip. Because it's assuming that the lead, the pace is burning it out, So we're going to give the closer an extra chip on that, observing that rule. You don't have to observe that rule, but I'm going to. And let's go ahead and we're looking for speed, and it looks like nobody has speed, so that's not really going to help Irma's Joy. Builds up a little momentum. So nobody in the middle group has speed, and just like that, we move on to the next furlong. So now this is the 7th furlong, 7th of 8, and it will be a stamina furlong in a normal race. So we're not even going to have to roll the die to see what kind of furlong it is. It will be a middle group challenge, and we're going to look at the star quality, which is looks like Mr. Z has double stars. So this is Mr. Z's opportunity, and here we go. That should be a good challenge. Her Royal Highness does not have 5 fend symbols. In fact, only has 1. So that would be a good challenge for Mr. Z and a chip. That bodes Mr. Z very well as we enter the final turn. Just double checking, make sure. Okay, I believe we are good. Nobody else has the star? All right, so we're ready for our final turn. Now, for the final turn, we use the final furlong chart. It's a special chart, calls all the qualities into play, although the stamina qualities are a little heavier than the sprint qualities in the final furlong. But, you know, you have to assume that sometimes they save a little bit for the end, and let's just see what happens. So the final furlong, my guy, second fiddle is still in the lead. I might win some money here. It will be and again, there's oftentimes 2 groups challenged in the final furlong. It's a middle and front. We're going to challenge for reflex. Middle and front for reflex. All right, this could be interesting. Probably some of these chips are going to get burned off. No reflex here. Silver Lining is going to get a shot. Unfortunately, Irma's Joy does not have the reflex quality, so that momentum that it's built up will not be able to be translated into any kind of a last-minute push. So looks like Silver Lining will get the chance to move up and maybe get a chip. Let's see. That is probably going to be, well, all right, so Mr. Z has the chip to hold him off. So that will foil the first attempt by Silver Lining. Here comes the second. And that will also be foiled because of the Fen symbol down here. So Mr. Z holds off Silver Lining. Now we go to the top group, and it looks pretty good for a second fiddle with that chip, but it could get burned off. Let's just see what happens. So 2 and 5. Let's see. We're looking for the reflex quality, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so you're gonna have a blue die 6 to dislodge second fiddle. So that's not going to work. And that will mean that second fiddle is going to hold on to win this, regardless of what. That's a failed challenge anyway. So the extra chip would simply indicate distance between the leader and the rest of the pack. So second fiddle easily wins this. And I'm going to get $30, I think. Let's just see. $10 wager at 3-to-1 odds. I'm going to get $40. I'm going to get my $10 bet back plus 30 in winning. So I got $40. I should have bet more. I had a good feeling about second fiddle. All right, so that's how it works. Hope you enjoy playing it as much as I have. I've run a lot of races over the last 6 months. As I said, there'll be the base game will be available, plus a base game expansion if you want to have even more horses. There's 96 horses in this set, so you can run a full card. But if you want more, there's a second expansion set of base horses. There's also an all-time great set, which has horses and all-time great jockeys, which is pretty cool. It lists the jockeys and the star horses they were associated with. And that'll be available starting Thanksgiving night at 10 p.m. We'll see you here. Let's talk briefly about the sale before we wrap things up. We'll close the site for a few hours before the sale begins. You will see a landing page and a password box. Every year we do that. I get a flurry of emails from people who are asking. They didn't know they had to have a password. You do not need a password. We're simply closing the site so we can make the changes to it. In anticipation of the sale. We have special pages that are holiday sale related only, and we need a couple hours to put that together. So you'll see a password box. don't let that throw you. The site will be open for business, open for traffic, starting at 10 p.m. Mountain Time, Thanksgiving night. What else? Once the sale begins, it will run nonstop until 10 p.m. Mountain Time on Monday. There'll be special flash deals each day. 2 years ago, we did doorbusters. Last year, we did spotlight deals. This year, we're doing 777 deals. They'll start at 7 a.m. Mountain Time each day on all 4 days. They will run for 7 hours, and they will each be $7. So 777, easy to remember. Be sure to check in whatever 7 a.m. Mountain Time is in your time zone. That's when those deals will go live. There's no limits on them. So you don't necessarily have to rush, but that's when those new deals, the daily deals, the daily 777 deals will go live, 7 a.m. Mountain Time each day. And there's different ones each day. There's 2, 3, 4 of them each day, and you'll want to check them out. I'm not going to say anything more about that, but they're super cool. For more information about the sale, particularly about the time frame of the turnaround time for orders and so on, please check our blog post, the November 13th Play Connect. Under the blog section, just look for the holiday wrapping on the Connect billboard, and the lead article is all the details about the sale, except for the revelation of the holiday game, which you just have now experienced. So if you'd like to know more, if you have any questions, that's the first place to go, is the blog post on the Play Connect, the November 13th Connect, which has all the information on the holiday sale. We will have a holiday sale update 1 week from tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll let you know how things are going, where we are in the order processing. We're really, honestly, hoping to be ahead of the curve this year. That is our goal, and we've prepped more this year than we ever have. But there's always, a few surprises, a few unexpected twists, and if there are, we will let you know about those 1 week from tonight. And then we'll have our online Christmas party the Thursday after that, featuring our annual White Elephant gift exchange. Lots of gifts rolling in. And if you'd like to get yours in, I think December 2nd is the deadline for safe mailing it, to make sure it gets here in time for the online Christmas party. But you're welcome to contribute a gift. Again, those details are also in that blog post, so I won't spend time going over them here. And I'm also very excited to say we'll have a very special in-house guest here at Play HQ for the online Christmas party, and you'll be excited as I am. So that's all happening on December 11th. And that's our stream for tonight. Hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving with your friends and family. We are thankful for you being part of this community. Thanks a lot for watching tonight. I know it's a busy time. People got stuff to do. Thanks for making the time to watch tonight. And we really do appreciate you and are very thankful for this community. So have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you 1 week from tonight, right here in the Play Space Live.